Hey, let's go for a walk. You know, I was kind of thinking of skipping ahead over the next few judges, but there's this thing that happens between the time of Jair and the time of Jephthah that really caught my attention. We're told that Israel continued to do evil in the eyes of God. And the evil, in this case, was wholesale worship of false gods. There's a whole list of these deity dalliances as the nation steps out on the Lord and chases after what seems to be about every other god they've ever heard about. The Baals, the Ashtoreths, the gods of Aram, the gods of Sidon, the gods of Moab, the gods of the Ammonites, the gods of the Philistines. I think I've missed one in there too. That's quite a pantheon that they've taken on. Now, just like the husband of a serial adulteress, the one true God got fed up and he just let him go. What was he supposed to do? I mean, was he supposed to force him to stay? I mean, sure, I believe the creator of the universe has the power to do that. But as we're taught again and again that God is love, I'm fairly certain that he wouldn't. But once they set themselves free from the Lord by their unfaithfulness, those they had declared themselves faithful to moved in and began to live out an abusive relationship with them. A long-term abusive relationship. The words that get used are words like shattered, crushed, oppressed, and distressed. And Israel cried out for salvation. But God said no. Did you know he could do that? Did you know that he would? The people confessed their sins and they said they'd done wrong by getting involved with other gods. And then the Lord reminded them that this wasn't the first time. He ran down a short list. He said, hey, do you remember when I set you free from Egypt? Do you remember when I released you from the Amorites? How about when I rescued you from the Ammonites? That first time. Or the Philistines? Or the Sidonians? Remember that? How about the Amalekites? Or the Maonites? Didn't I rush to your rescue each time? Didn't I forgive you and restore a relationship each time? Not anymore. Go cry to the gods that you decided to love instead. And then we're told that Israel felt inspired to confess again that they'd screwed up. And then, only then, they got rid of the foreign gods they'd been worshiping. It's like they're trying to figure out what they actually need to give up. This isn't repentance. They never apologize. Even in going back to act out, walking with God, it lacks any real sincerity. They're just doing what they think they have to. And then we're told that God's soul grew short at their toil, which often gets translated as he couldn't bear their misery, even though, really, that's not right. He was just exasperated. He was sick of their whining, and so he gives in, and he arranges to deliver them. Can you imagine making someone so angry that they do what you ask just to get you to leave them alone? Can you imagine making God that angry? Because apparently, that can happen. So be careful, not only of how you walk, but why. That's what I read in this story. I often tell people that God grades us on our effort and our attitude, not our success. You know what? That's something I see here too. Food for thought. Grace and peace to you. I'll see you tomorrow.